And we brought in like Trump, we brought in RFK Jr. We talked about some of the we have with us Edye Edens, we have Nirpal Virdee. And Nirpal, before we start, tell us more about who you are, because you're a member of the team that people don't usually see. They hear from, but they don't usually see. Introduce yourself. Tell us what you thought about the conversation.
Well, I'm glad you'll get me to do it and not be speaking about my British accent. But I'm Nirpal Virdee. I've joined the firm, and Darshan and I go a long way back. It's great to work together, and I'm really trying to support and head up the business development side of the business. So this was for me amazing to do start a deep dive series. It's been something we've been talking about internally. So I think it was an amazing start and a very, very topical piece that you guys covered. And I couldn't be better pleased with what we did just now.
And we brought in like Trump, we brought in RFK Jr. We talked about some of the fact that a lot of people are targeting clinical research right now, whether it's the DOJ, ORI, OIG. But Edye, what was your takeaway? You kind of did like the basics, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know me, I always like to set the room. And I think I really liked that we were getting engagement from the audience, not just around prevention, but then also once I've detected, like practically, what do I do next? Because to me, that's always a signal that you're giving out really valuable advice. If people are asking that next question and that next step, then you know that you've pushed a button. And I know it's also really intimidating in the sense of there are so many agencies and there are so many bifurcations and different avenues you may go down depending on what type of fraud and what do you find out once you have an allegation. But I also think as a sponsor, you got to know that. I mean, you're playing the game, you got to know the rules. And so it's only fair to understand and make sure you know all the rules. As a sponsor, how is my responsibility and risk profile changing? It's been a topic of conversation, I know, for a lot of us across a lot of different events lately.
Yeah, and I love the question about the getting that balance right between the prevention activities and your relationships. With the clinical sites and investigators, which was, I thought, very prudent way to go, and really trying to think about your relationships, but also the fact that you need to stay compliant. And there's so many of these factors there that are important for you to address, right?
It just signals a change, I think, in the industry that both sponsors as well as, on the receiving end, the CRO, the vendor, the site are saying like, we recognize we haven't always done the best at having the most congruent relationships, and we don't want this to be yet another nail in a coffin we're not trying to build for that. And that's what we hear at a lot of different events. So it's a big one. What were you going to say, Dee?
What I do want to point out is that the recording is available. So if you want to get that, you need to talk to Nirpal, reach out to Nirpal. Nirpal, how can they reach you?
Well, they can email me directly, nirpal.virdee at colcarnilawfirm.com. So just send me an email. We'll also post my details on some of this linkage. So if you want to email me or phone me, either is fine. And I'd love to hear from you and at least get your perspective on what you thought, because we want to do many of these, right? This is one of many. So I'm excited about what we do next and what the next topic is. So we'll discuss that internally with all the feedback. But yeah, please get in touch, and then let's see what we can do around giving you some more information, answering more questions, things that we might have missed because we only had a finite amount of time. But if you want us to help you, please reach out. That's what we're here for.
Thank you again, everyone. This was amazing. Thank you, Edye, for helping set this up. Nirpal helping set this up. So this was awesome. Thanks all.
Yep. Love it.
Speak soon.
Click or email.